Hi, I'm Daniel Likis and welcome to Food 101. Food, people. Let's talk about food. And today, I have my special guest, no other than Ms.Niki Talks.
Hello.
Thank you for having me, Ms.Niki.
No problem. Thank you for having me on, Daniel.
So let's talk about your favorite main course.
Okay, so my favorite main course is Moules Frites, which is a very traditional dish in Belgium. It is mussels and fries.
Wow. So can you say hi to our listener from Belgium?
Yes, bonjour en Belgique. So hello to my lovely people in Belgium. My mother is a Belgian. My family still lives there, and we love Belgium. Yeah.
That's so awesome. So how to do this dish?
It's actually very simple food. So the mussels are steamed usually in a large pot. You'll make it for your family. The way we've always done it very traditionally is garlic, white wine, butter, parsley, and some shallots.
Wow.
So it is simple food, but it's so good. And traditional Belgian fries. The key is to fry them twice. So very, very important.
It's
Twice.
like crispy.
You get it crispy. Yeah, you start. The first time is like 160 C, and then the second fry is about 190. So you get them really nice and beautiful and crisp.
Crispy.
My grandfather was a big seller of duck fat. He said you always fry your fries in duck fat. But I know a lot of people don't do that anymore.
Yes.
But yeah. Making fries with my mom for our family dinners and getting it ready, and it's a beautiful family meal.
Wow. So if you compare protein to this dish,
very different. Extremely different. You wouldn't be putting cheese curds and gravy on it whatsoever. We used to have frites with mayonnaise, really. So my mom would make her own mayonnaise for fries. No, you wouldn't put ketchup, you wouldn't put gravy, cheese curds, very different dish. Fries growing up were always kind of, there's a sacred way to do it, and it's the right way to do it. I'm sure every Belgian family has their slightly own way to do it.
Yes.
And I know it's a bit of a war, but they are not French. So people call them French fries, but frites are Belgian. So
Belgian.
They're Belgian.
Belgian people.
Yes. You can argue with my mom all day, but they're from Belgium.
So if you want to rate 1 to 10 this dish, where is it?
Oh, it's a solid 10. Come on. There's nothing you can feel more comforting than, a plate of fries with your family and that beautiful mussels with that oceany taste and the white wine broth. Like if you have a good chunk of chunky crusty bread to dip into the broth after, that's always a good one. And I think the nicest part is I think it's just one of those standard comfort foods I grew up with. So whenever I have it, I think of my family. And I think that's pretty common for a lot of people, right? Those dishes that you love, that you grow up with. It's the memories of family that make them special.
Definitely. So is it available in Canada?
You probably can. I'm sure you can get mussels lots of places. So steamed mussels in a white wine broth you can get. And I'm sure there's lots of restaurants who will do it. You're going to argue over whether they do the fries properly or not. But you know what? It's an easy dish to make at home, and I would encourage everyone to try it. Even if you're not a super seasoned cook, it's something you can definitely do and learn. And it's such a sharing meal, so it's nice to engage people with, right?
So can you share to me the basic instruction of doing it?
Yeah, I mean, we don't measure in my family. We never measured. So we would usually saute in our, we have like a French oven. It's like a cast iron coated big one. And so we would saute like our shallots and our garlic. We put our white wine in. You put some butter in there, and then you'll steam your mussels. Like, you have to clean your mussels. We usually get our mussels fresh. We order them.
Are you new from the ocean?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we order them, and we pick them up from the fishermen, and you have to take the beards out and clean them. and you steam your mussels in that broth, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
then you just eat them from there, right?
That's amazing.
If you want to do it the traditional way, you turn the lid over, and that's where you put your shells. We could have bowls too. And the fries, we were always taught to peel them and then let them sit in cold.
Fresh potatoes.
Yeah, you have to make your own fresh potatoes.
That's really awesome.
And you soak them in cold water, then you take them out, pat them dry, make sure you have your oil hot to go to 160 C. You're going to fry those. I don't want to give you a time because it's always till it looks right.
Yes. True.
Yeah, but you want to take them out, pat them, let them sit for a minute, heat your oil up higher, about 190 C, fry them again, and then make sure you salt them when they come out, because you don't want an unsalted fry.
Okay.
Yeah, but simple, very simple food.
Simple but delicious.
Yes.
So let's talk about women empowerment. As a general manager here at Willow, so what do you think inspire women to be a leader?
Well, I think women do want to be leaders. I think, unfortunately, for a long time, there was an idea that women couldn't be leaders.
Yes.
I was very fortunate to grow up with a very strong mother. I never had that idea in my head, whether I wanted to be, an astronaut or a mechanic or a leader. It was never something I was told I couldn't be. So I was very lucky to have that influence in my life. And then when I came here, also very fortunate to have a company that has such strong female leadership. Long-term care and seniors housing, a lot of it grew out of nursing.
Yes.
And back at that time, a lot of nurses were female, and it gave them the opportunity to come into this field and to become leaders. And the great thing is I had so many amazing female leaders in this company look at me and say, hey, you can do this.
Yes.
So I think the part to empower women is to just tell them, you can do this. Not everybody was as fortunate as I was to grow up with that strong driving influence. And I think investing time in women and investing training and giving them opportunities, I think you'll see them flourish. We've had so many wonderful young people come into this company as women, and they have such potential. And when you see them and you say, hey, I see this potential in you, the way that they respond to it is amazing.
Yes, sure.
And I think we need to create those opportunities everywhere. There's lots of fields where it's surprising that women still don't have opportunities to move into leadership roles.
True. And
they have so much to give. So I think diversity is so important because we all from diverse backgrounds, we from different countries, different genders.
Yes.
We have a different way of looking at the world, right?
Yes.
And having more points of view and more ideas is always a good thing. So more diversity, more inclusion is always going to make a better workplace.
That's true. So give me of your quality of being a leader.
Qualities of being a leader. I think it's important to listen. So very, very important. I know some people don't say that, but I think you need to take the time to listen to other people. Also ask questions. Never think that you have all the answers. So I know I have lots of ideas, lots of answers. I've been doing it a long time. But there's always people who are going to have other ideas, great ideas that I didn't think of.
Yes.
And to make, Willow or any company better, you want to leverage all those ideas. You want to hear from other people and what they think is a great idea. Sometimes they aren't feasible, but you're going to have those people who say, hey, I have this great idea. And if you're listening to them, they're going to be more inclined to bring up other ideas. And I think that's so important. Giving people opportunities to grow and coaching. Yes. I'm a big believer that if somebody wants to grow and wants to learn, I want to give them opportunities to do so.
Sure.
I know that can be scary for some people, but helping others grow and seeing other success is always a benefit.
Yes.
I always say, other people's success is not your failure. It only contributes to you, right? It only helps people be better. So helping that with learning and growth. and reflecting on yourself. I think a lot of times, like, was that the right decision I made? As I said, none of us are perfect. I've made mistakes in my life. I've made mistakes in my career, and sometimes I go back and think, how could I have done that better? Because it's not to make mistakes. We know people are going to make mistakes. It's how you learn from those mistakes and grow, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So do you believe on destiny or luck?
Oh, I mean,
is it a tough question?
It is a very tough question. I am a born skeptic. This is like my big thing. I am a born skeptic, but a hopeful believer. Okay. I've been told many times that I am lucky, and I do believe. I believe I've been very fortunate in life. I was born to a wonderful family who cared for me and worked extremely hard, who didn't have a lot when I was a child, and worked very hard to give me everything I wanted and needed. And I feel very fortunate, and I know that not everybody was born into that situation. So I think there is an amount of chance or luck in any situation, but I also think you need to put in the work, right? So you always need to put in the extra work to do it. Is it easier for some people? Yes. And I love seeing people who have such tenacity, who maybe not have been so fortunate and have worked so hard to get somewhere, because I have such respect for that. My dad worked extremely hard, and still does. He will never quit working. But I think that's amazing. So I think there is an amount of luck. There is, and what, some people are luckier than others.
Yes.
And I love the idea of destiny. But I also think, maybe the universe can open a door for you, but you have to choose to walk through it, right?
Definitely.
So
go for it. So, for aspiring women out there, what are the qualities that you're looking for something that you need to train to be a leader or to be next to your footsteps?
So, I would say, I think it's very important to be passionate about what you're doing. So it's easy to say you want to be a leader, but a leader of what? In what? Because if you don't have passion for what you're doing, if you don't care about what you're doing, people are going to see that. I've been working with seniors since I was 17. I love working with seniors. And that's why I choose to continue working in this industry. And I think you need to lead with passion, because you want to hire passionate people. So if your passion is technology or healthcare, I think starting there is important. I think learning all positions, I'm a big believer that you need every single person in a building to do the job. And we all have our things to do, we all have our part, but let me tell you, when you don't have a dishwasher, it's hard. It's true. And you know what? That person is important, and that job is valid, and you need those people. So not thinking that you're better than those people, but knowing that those people are part of your team. It's hugely important, and leveraging that talent. And then for me, and what I always tell people who are aspiring to leadership, even in here, is ask for the job that you want. So come tell me. I've had people say, I've wanted to do that forever, and I'm like, why didn't you come tell me? It might not be something you can step in tomorrow. It might be a lengthy path to get where you want to be. But if you're going to tell me, like, I want to be a GM or I want to be an office manager, one, I'm going to make sure you understand the position. Is that a position you really want to do and you're passionate about? But two, let's take the steps to get there. If you want to be your supervisor, ask your supervisor how to do their job. Learn that job and ask them, can I help you? I started off as a dishwasher here. I think people are always shocked to hear that when I was 17, and it simply became, I just worked my way up the ladder, and I would say, hey, I like your job. It seems interesting. How do I do what you do? Will you teach me what you do? And what can I do to help you? And then all of a sudden, you're doing that job. So don't be afraid. Go for it. Understand that you are capable and you are smart. And you know, if you need to know something, take the initiative to learn it. So I think that's important.
Sorry, I have one more.
Yes, no, go for it.
So, how you describe yourself in one word? Ms.Niki Talks.
Oh
Yes.
no. I think that's such a hard thing. So many people, I think people's views of you are so different. And it's nice to hear from other people what they think of you. I mean, I would hope, and I know it's probably a silly one, but I would hope that it would be compassionate. I always want to strive for compassion and caring for people. I know there's a lot of lovely things people have said about me, but I think it always really touches me when people say they're compassionate. I did just have a colleague say something which just almost made me like, it was very nice because she said, you're so bold, and I always aspire to be bold and to, you know, not be someone who shrinks away from sharing my ideas, because I feel it's important to be bold, especially for other women. You know, I'm fortunate enough to be in a place to have a voice and should exercise that. And it's something I didn't think of myself, but I strived for. So to see somebody say that about me, it was very, very touching. But yeah, I'm gonna hope it's compassionate.
Oh, do you know that Ms.Niki, that compassion is one of the attribute of smart people.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, say hi to people listening in Belgium. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. See you soon. Welcome, people.